you're doing those little walks, instead of, I had to remind myself to get out of my head of what I was going to do that morning and really look around, look at nature, look at the
Hmm.
trees, that was one thing really good thing I did today.
Exactly. And then the other thing is treat yourself like you would your best girlfriend. You
Yeah.
would never let your girlfriend beat you up. We call that head trash. There's so much head trash in our heads about you're not this, you're not good enough, we're not that, and it never lets us look at what we do well. So that to me is building your confidence. It's being who you really are without apologizing. I want to add one thing here. Stop saying sorry.
Yeah.
Okay? We're
Yeah.
in a no sorry zone because
Yeah.
sorry makes us already feel badly.
Right. Right. And this is very true. And I have to say, I'm Canadian, and Canadians say sorry a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's not just Canadians, Colette. I did a workshop. We did this about 5 years ago, and there were 25 women. It was raining, so it was just a mess. And my girlfriend and I, who were the co-hosts of the workshop,
Yes.
we tagged it. There were 25 women, and in the first hour, people said, "I'm sorry about the weather. Sorry, I'm late. Sorry, I'm bringing water into the room." 182 ticks in
Wow.
an hour.
That's a lot of
Think
sorry.
about that. That's
That
a
is
lot of sorry. So we declare no sorry zone.
that is great. That is great. I love that. And I have to tell everybody that when I met Darlene. Actually, Darlene is one of my yoga students, but she was brought by another friend, and that's how we connected. But I have to say, the one thing that you said to me that I thought was incredibly generous was Darlene said to me, "How can I help you?" And I'm looking and I'm thinking, this woman is asking me how she can help me, and then I'm thinking, oh, first of all, I was wanting to know whether that was authentic, but at the same time, I was thinking, oh, there's so much that she could help me with, you know. And then later on, when Darlene and I were chatting and we were planning this podcast, um, Darlene, very kind lady, said, okay, well, how can I help you? And I said, she's asked me, well, how are you doing? What's going on? And I told her about some of the business ideas that I was having. And anyway, within 10 minutes, Darlene had me focused on what I needed to do. That was in 10 minutes. And she gave me
Oh,
homework to move forward. So I have to say, you're very powerful at what you do. Very powerful.
oh,
No, absolutely.
oh
And
my.
if someone has a few ideas to start a business, but they can't choose what they want, what would you advise them?
Well, first of all, Colette, thank you so much for those kind words. And
Well,
I,
it's very
I
true.
used to say, "Oh, I'm not." I used to say, "No, I'm not," and I argued with the compliment. And I know as women, we argue with that. Someone will
Right.
tell you your hair looks great. I'm learning to just say thank you so much.
Yeah.
But so take a breath when someone gives you a compliment. So thank you for that. It was such a pleasure,
Oh,
and
you're
I
welcome.
so
Sweet.
enjoyed it with you. Here's the things that when we're starting a business, you have to be passionate about what you want to do. And sometimes it's easy. I'm that bright and shiny object girl. I can say, oh, I want to do this, and I want to add that stream, and I want to have that class. And it gets all overwhelming. If
Hmm.
you had a few ideas, I would ask you to really sit back with some time and really focus. I call it funneling and focus. And that's what we did, Colette, is we kind of funneled down and
Hmm.
focused on what we could really get our arms around. And everybody here, that's kind of my favorite phrase, funnel and focus.
Hmm.
And then take a look at, if you've got two ideas, then I would funnel and focus, boil it down, and then I would do what's called a T chart. It's a Franklin chart, but we call it a T chart. You just make a T chart on a pad and you put pros and cons. Okay? So if you told me that you were going to start a speaking business during
Hmm.
COVID, one of the cons would be there's no in-person speaking today.
Hmm.
Okay?
Right.
But if you told me you were going to start a yoga mask, a really cool yoga mask company, I might say, wow, So look at the one that you're more passionate about, but you can't do that till you do your pros and cons. Okay?
Right.
I would love to have another big event, but I know I can't do that, maybe never again, because we usually have a big birthday bash with 200 women, maybe never. So I've put that on the back burner, but I'm looking at the things I can do. So do that T chart. It's kind of old-fashioned. T on a page, pros on one side, cons on the other. Do it once, walk away from it. Get a glass of wine or go outside or just get some quiet time. Give it 24 hours and then go back and look at it with a very pointed eye and say, you know what was I thinking? Of course I can't start a speaking business, but I can start the mask business.
Right.
Okay. That'll give you some time away on your ideas.
And I read that you talk about the imposter syndrome and kind of what is that and how can we overcome that? Because that's very related to how we see ourselves and our companies that we're trying to build and wherever we're working.
Yeah, it's very, very relevant. Meryl Streep is probably the most famous actress in the United States and probably in the world. Everybody knows Meryl Streep. She literally said, why would anybody want to come and watch me? I don't understand that. That's the imposter syndrome. You know, I don't have a college degree. And when I was at IBM, everybody had a college degree. And I was always afraid that they were going to wake up and find out I'm a fraud or they're going to think I'm stupid. It's that self-doubt. It goes back to building confidence and being authentic and what are you great at? But as women, it's way worse. Even Maya Angelou, who is one of my very favorite women in this entire world, and such a loss when we lost her, said, I've written 11 books. Why would anybody want to read them?
Yeah.
It's that lack of self-esteem. And, you know, I was always told I'm too this, I'm too loud, I'm too this, I'm too funny, I'm too whatever. And so not by my parents, but that's my personality. So you have to kind of figure out sometimes what that is. But when it happens, you have to really look at where you are. And one of the things that drives that is perfectionism. Anybody out there a perfectionist? I am. I want it perfect. I want to be a perfect wife, a perfect leader. I want to be a perfect CEO. I want to be a perfect daughter. You want to be all of that. Impossible. Okay, it's impossible. So I'm a recovering perfectionist. Anybody?
I love that.
Anybody want to join me? Join me. And that helps with the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And I want to leave you one of my favorite quotes here. Two things before we go on this. Focus on your accomplishments and celebrate your successes and be grateful.
Yeah.
Keep that half full glass. But, excuse me, perfect is the enemy of great.
Yeah, perfect is the enemy of great. That's great. That is really wonderful. And, you know, we have about 2 minutes left. I know it's going by so fast.
Okay.
But I want you to, can you share very quickly about the Amazing Women's Leaders Program? Could you share that? That's near and dear to your heart.
Oh my gosh, it's near and dear to my heart. It's a 6-month leadership program, but it's really a personal and professional discovery program that really walks you through with 6 to 8 other brilliant, talented women. And we work on ways to grow you personally, professionally, help you achieve your goals and your dreams, and be even more successful than you are. It's awesome, and it's my favorite. It's my heart. we're kicking off our next one in October. But I love working with these women. There's something magical about having a support system and having women all around you and celebrating with you. It's awesome. Love it. My favorite.
Darlene, I have to tell you that you are one of the most powerful, passionate people I have ever met. And if you are looking to start a business, or you need some coaching, or you need somebody to give you direction, Darlene Templeton Associates. She is the person. She really is the person.
Oh.
And I cannot say more about you because I'm very choosy about who I have on my podcast. And there was no qualms about having you on at all. And I would like to say thank you so much. And I know how you begin and end your day. You're usually up pretty early, right? And you go walking, right?
I'm early.
Yeah.
I walk, and now I love my yoga on Saturday, thanks to you. But Colette, I cannot thank you enough for having me. I'm honored. I'm honored to speak to each of you out there. And like I said, if I can help you in any way, please let me know. But it's an honor to be. Colette, you are amazing. You are helping so many other women, and I love your heart and what you do. And I'm just honored to know you. I feel like the very blessed one. So thank you for being who you are. You're awesome.
Thank you, Darlene. Vice versa. It's always great to be told you're awesome. Thank you.
You're amazing as well.
I like that. I'm writing all this down, put it on Post-it notes all over my house.
I love that. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks again, Darlene, for joining us on Yin Yoga Lifestyle today.
My gosh.
And if you would like more information about Darlene Templeton, you can visit DarleneTempleton.com, and that's her website. Many thanks again, Darlene, for being on Yin Yoga Lifestyle.
It was a pleasure, and I wish you all an amazing and awesome day and week. Stay safe. Colette, you are a rock star. Thank you. Woo! Thank you so much.
I love it. And this is really who Darlene is. This is her all the time. And please don't forget to subscribe to YinYogaLifestyle.com, where you can find free Yin Yoga videos, and you can join live online Yin Yoga classes and receive your first class for free. And you can also join the referral program. And every time you refer a friend and they come to a class, you get an additional class for free. Just check out the website. And let's get you and your friends started on a daily Yin Yoga routine today. It's so easy. It's so healthful. And thank you for joining Yin Yoga Lifestyle, adding enlightenment, calm, balance, and creativity to your everyday life. I am your host, Colette Darville. Join us next time to continue our journey of balancing into a state of perfect harmony. Until then, this is Colette Darville, reminding you to inhale, sow, and exhale, hum.